More so just getting your opinion on a potential hole I see in profit mode at scale.
Okay.
And I'm going to use like a dramatized example for some context.
Okay, cool.
Excuse me. What if your service area was 5 minutes east to west, very tight service area.
Mm-hmm.
The population in there could support a $10 million business. And we follow profit mode where we just want to scale to $1 million at capacity, raise rates, continue over and over and over again. But we don't want to get past 6 to 8 employees, don't want to get past $1 million. And in theory, we can get up to net 40%, right? If we just keep going playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, or correct me if I'm wrong, is at a certain point, all of your best customers would get price increase fatigue. And you could be, again, being dramatic here, let's say you have a $200 labor rate. At a certain point, you might lose like 60% of your customer base and then kind of piss off your employees because you have to jack rates down and they won't make as much on P4P and potentially lose a large percentage of your top 8 players. Can you help provide more context here on when is profit mode dangerous and when we should actually not continue profit mode at a certain point?
Cool, yeah. So the assumption is that there is a point when profit mode is dangerous. I don't believe that. Here, let me explain though why. Is the part that in the book I really try to stress is that profit mode is not possible if the churn from my customers cannot be replaced with organic traffic. And so the fact is, if you did this profit mode thing going really fast, like 40% increase in price, and the next year another 40%, if you started jacking rates super fast, this potentially would be a problem. Once you're in profit mode, I am going to do this only when I exceed capacity. And then by raising rates, what I'm actually doing is I'm putting pressure downward on my close rate so that the amount of leads that are coming in organically from my website, organically from my trucks, is enough to replace the people who do leave. And so new leads coming in don't have any pricing fatigue. They're simply judging you on your last at bat. In other words, you versus the competition, you versus everyone else's website, you versus everyone else that doesn't answer their phone calls. I am going to replace the customers who have, in your words, pricing fatigue with customers who are brand new, that are willing to pay a premium price. They have never had a price increase for my business, but they're willing to take that. And here's what's crazy. I've actually seen churn rates decrease as time goes on in profit mode because the people who joined at a higher rate are less price sensitive as you do price increases. So when someone raises their first price increase, like the first year, by 10 or 15%, they lose like 10% of customers. Then the next year they do another 10 or 15% increase and they lose 7% of customers. And then they raise prices again by 10 or 15% and they lose 4% of customers. I've seen this happen because now the people that are joining, that are replacing your churn, are the customers who see value in a higher premium service. Does that make sense, Sam?
Yeah, it makes sense. So you're saying that really there's no ceiling because at a certain point you won't have to raise prices because that like equilibrium in the demand levels out?
You got new customers. That's the thing that people forget about with profit mode is like in 5 years, the vast majority of your existing customers will have been flushed through the system and there'll be other customers. And you're like, I don't want to lose them. They're good paying. You're right. But I'm willing to take someone else on that doubles my profit because I raised prices by 20%, right? And so the bottom line to your question is, yes, some people may get price fatigue. They're your lowest value customers, the ones that will churn out each year when you raise your prices. And the people who stick are the ones who see the value in your service, that take all your upsells, that would never get rid of you. And the people that are replacing the people who leave, they're the ones that do see value in your service because they called 5 other people and they didn't answer their phone.
Gotcha. So how do you navigate, like if you had a bunch of people you view as family, right? Like your day one customers, Are you just kind of saying like, screw them and just continuously raise prices on them?
Okay, this is a good point. Jace, you can take down the call because we got the call queue filled up. Yeah, so how you word that, I wouldn't use that word terminology. How I like to think of it is, first off, you're emotionally connected to them. And the reason is because I know that is because you call them family. And we are connected to family because of the emotion. The thing that is different is when it comes to customers is they choose you and you choose them every single time you show up to their service. Family, you're stuck with them. And so in my opinion, if someone really was quote unquote your family and cared about you, they would want to make sure that you could take care of your team and you'd be able to keep showing up to their property year after year after year by having a healthy profit margin. And furthermore, the retention of your team increases dramatically if you don't reduce the percentage on P4P and you just let your team start making more and more money on profit sharing because they don't want to leave. And so that actually helps your customer. And so retention of the customer goes up when the retention of your team members goes up. And the retention of my team members goes up when I can pay them a whole lot more than anyone else in the market. And so the quality of my product goes up, my level of support, my level of service. So there is inherent value and we're all attached to the fact that like, well, I've always done it. It's always been really good. So like nothing's improved. No, The comparison is that they're going to leave your service, save an extra $10, $15 per service, but now have a different employee every 6 weeks because that company can't pay their employee enough to stay.